Good evening, Musk enjoyers. Have you been right? 'Cause it's time for the predictions video. Yes, earlier today for the October Force Wipe, we had a lovely batch of skins being accepted. But in this video, we need to go ahead and try and figure out which of these skins potentially might be the best investment for this week, which of these skins might help us walk away with some sweet, delicious looking profit. So sit back, relax. I'm going to start yapping. Right, so before I even talk about any of these skins in regards to how confident I am in terms of them being investments, I have to point out that they are currently selling excessively. The Rustor rotated in very early today. It's been beyond like several hours since the Rustor rotation happened. And, well, just look at it. Some of these skins have already reached up to and close to and above 10,000 subscribers. When you look at the likes of the Forest Raiders locker here, 11,489 subscribers. And remember, subscriber count is the bare minimum, all right? So we know at least 11,489 individual people have bought this skin. We just don't know how many they bought individually. Some, or rather the majority of people, very likely just bought one for themselves. Maybe some people bought 10 because they want to sell, another batch off to try and make some profit. Some people wanted a little bit more and bought 100, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few people that bought 1,000 and more. So be cautious. They're selling a little bit too much, and it's turning into a bit of a problem where there is, the quantity and the demand. Now, for a perfectly fine skin, the quantity and demand, they'll be fairly equal. And as time goes on, it'll gradually rise in price. But what I'm cautious about is oversaturation. I'm worried that we might have far too much quantity compared to genuine demand. What's going to happen to the excess quantity? What's going to get thrown onto the Steam market? It's going to get thrown onto the third-party sites. And that's basically going to lead to the likes of these skins losing value. There'll be people who have bought these in excess with the pure intent to sell, and they'll be competing with each other to try and make a quick flip profit. And they will undercut. And basically, the value of the skins just gradually goes down, and they suffer, and then they become very bad investments. So be cautious. So with me pointing that out, please also acknowledge that, the player count has kind of dropped off since the likes of the summer. But even then, it's not that bad, especially when you compare it to likes of the previous year. We're doing very well. Technically speaking, Rust is still growing, especially with its player count. But just acknowledge, with the amount that have sold compared to the amount of people playing, it is looking a bit ridiculous. Do not be surprised if you see all of these skins potentially going down in price initially, but as we reach the likes of January time, during the likes of the winter break, maybe we'll see a lot of these skins actually pick up a fair bit. So a smart buy order very likely will be the answer for all of these skins today. And remember, a smart buy order can always lead to some pretty interesting profit. Cool. Right then, shall we now look at all of these skins and try and figure out which one's looking to be the best investment for the week? So, looking for a skin that's very reliable, I'm looking at the likes of the Neon Bismuth Armoured Double Door. Yeah, so let's just quickly get this point across. Bismuth collection, a lot of skins are getting produced, a lot of skins are getting accepted. Just this past weekend, we had the likes of the single Armoured Door being produced, but the double Armoured Door was accepted this week. Let's see what happens next week. And also, keep an eye out over the course of this weekend, what could potentially get produced next for this collection. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we get the likes of a wooden double door, considering we have sheet metal and armoured now. We shall see. Maybe a furnace, large box, small box. I don't know, but so as long as I keep seeing more and more being produced, I'm good. Cool. Right then. So we should also acknowledge that there really isn't that many armoured double doors that exist. In total, there's only 13. Now this year we've had 4, and earlier this year on May 23, we had the likes of the toxic armoured double door being accepted. Now, throughout all of this year, it's been very reliable in terms of retaining its price. Steam market's just been a little bit weird here. There you go, fine. Right, so this sold for $2.49 in a Rust store, and right now it's sitting here at $2.72. It's still in the positive. Right now, it's supposed to be the bad times. Right now, during the likes of October, we're supposed to see pretty much every single Rust skin reach their lowest point. And yet, this skin right here is still doing perfectly fine. This does not have that much problems in regards to quantity being listed. There's a 24 there, but that's just one person. The barders are still very, very strong. Armoured double doors in the past have been very reliable. Look at the Bombshell double armoured door from last year. Look at the likes of the Outer Planets armoured double door from the year before that. And then look at all of these. Now, these are fairly old, so it's not too surprising to see they've worked out ever so nicely because there's only so much quantity in circulation. The main point is we don't really see that many double armoured doors being introduced. This year is a bit of an exception, but hey, even then, this is still holding up quite nicely. And now, with the likes of this, knowing that there's a fairly decent chance that we have, potential more continuations on the horizon, it's looking very appealing. I just can't help to assume that it's going to do a decent job of retaining value. Now, the only concern is, and I said it at the very beginning, didn't I, just a couple of minutes ago, maybe it might sell just a little bit too much, but with a very generalised prediction, I feel like that's only going to reach up to about 20,000 subscribers, which wouldn't be the end of the world. That would be okay. But we had to be cautious. Now that's abnormal. We can use that time to our advantage. But if you don't know what abnormal skins are, let me just quickly introduce you to that. So what are abnormal skins? Well, basically, with every rust store rotation that we have, some of those skins that we see in those rust stores will actually become marketable before the rust store even rotates. And with us knowing that, every single Wednesday night, I'm on my Twitch stream and I'm figuring out prices to offer for all of the skins. And when they appear in the Steam market, we go ahead, we put our barders down as fast as possible, and then afterwards, we look and see how much barders each of the skins have, how high do the prices go, and that's a good idea in regards to figuring out whether those skins are actually going to retain their value or not. Consider watching this video. This is last night's stream. Of course, look in the description right now. You see the links to all my socials. You'll see the link to the likes of my Twitch. So every Wednesday night, I'm streaming. I'm doing this. Watch the first 5 minutes. Skip ahead to the actual barders. You'll get a good idea of how it all works. Then watch the abnormal barder support. And for a great example, you can see in this video, we figured out that the likes of the Black Diamond Road Sign Gloves and the Commando AK-47 were looking to be very reliable skins. I bought 30 of each, and that worked out ever so nicely as of now. But yeah, it looked appealing, and I felt justified. That video will explain so much more. So, alright, Neon Bismuth Armor Double Door, you look like you're going to do a decent job of retaining your valuable in the foreseeable future, pending we don't get a ton of more Armor Double Door skins being produced and accepted. We'll see. But yeah, as of now, you're looking quite alright. Right then, so we just talked about the likes of the double armoured door. So out of all of these other skins, what's looking to be potentially a nice appealing investment as well? Well, I have to bring this up. These remaining skins, it's now 50-50. Don't assume it's going to be very easy quick flip profits. It's looking very questionable, but there is still nice potential there. And this is why I now have to talk about the likes of the Forest Raiders locker. I know it's selling excessively, but surely that's a sign of interest, right? Genuine demand? Well, if I just take a look and point out that, this is part of the Forest Raiders collection. The collection that happens to be the most expensive clothing and armour in all of Rust. So, yeah, green camouflage, it sells well. There's a lot of demand for it. Is this simply selling so well because it's linked to all of this? Or is it selling well because people genuinely like the design of it? I've seen this in-game. Consider watching my Rust or rotation video to get a good showcase of what the skin looks like in-game and whatnot. I like it. I think it's very creative. The ghillie suit all around it and whatnot. Also, at night time, it does glow in the dark. It has an interesting creative usage of glow in the dark to make it appear it has lights on the inside, shining down on armor, and it also kind of teases a tank top skin. Let's see if that becomes anything. I like it. I just kind of question, with the amount of sales that are happening, could it potentially, be a clear sign of oversaturation? Far too many people buying it with the pure intent to sell. But I do want to bring this up. We have seen some locker skins being accepted earlier this year. Namely, I want to look at the likes of the Neon Full Kit locker. So if you can recall, we had a Neon locker collection, a subsidiary collection of the Neon collection produced by Duck. But the first one to be accepted was the Full Kit locker. And maybe the reason why this one's doing all right compared to the others is this is Full Kit locker. It could, super generalized. It could be used with anything. Maybe. Anyway, the main reason what I want to talk about is that with the first 24 hours of sales, that did over 20,000 subscribers. In the end, it did over 40,000 subscribers. There was demand for it, people liked it, and it's still in the positive. During the bad times, it's October right now. Could the same situation happen to the likes of this? I can't help but assume this is going to probably reach up to about 40,000 subscribers as well. But Forest Raiders locker. Will we see more deplorables being produced for this collection? Doors, furnaces, boxes? I don't know. Feel free to comment below what you think in regards to this. I can see there's potential. I feel like it's going to be a case of initially it'll probably drop down in price for a while, but then of course when loads of people return to play the game around January time and of course during the likes of the summer of 2025, I think then it will start to flourish. But more deplorable skins being produced would definitely help it out. So we'll leave it at that. There's interest, but it's selling a little bit too much. But it's abnormal. Yes, we can wait until Wednesday. We can see how many sales it's had by then, and then we'll question how we approach it in regards to offering prices and whatnot. So this is where abnormals are super helpful. We can just wait it out. But by all means, if you like it, just go treat yourself. Buy one for yourself. Buy it, use it, enjoy it. Support the skin creators. Keep them nice and motivated. Keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. Right then. So out of these other remaining skins, what's potentially looking like it could work out all right as an investment? Now, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to point out the Bombshell SAR. This feels like a dark horse investment. Now, this is the only skin this week that's not abnormal, but the main draw with the likes of this is it has transparency on its aim site. Now, earlier this year, we had the likes of the Hedge SAR being given away for free. It was a Twitch drop, and it has pretty much the exact same design here, but this one has like black with red aim sight and whatnot. And the overall design does look quite nice. Again, consider watching my rust rotation video. I give it a good showcase. I can see this potentially working out quite alright. Not everybody managed to get the likes of that Hedge Twitch drop. I'm pretty sure some people just about missed out, or, you know, they just went around. Regardless, that's only on the Rust store for $1.99. And if you go look at all the other skins here, you might notice that this isn't getting that much interest compared to all the other skins ahead of it. If it doesn't sell too much, all the better for it to rise up in price in the future if there's demand. And maybe it's just a TikTok video away from getting noticed and then suddenly everybody cares. Like, quite recently, I believe William used the likes of the Apocalyptic Nomad AK-47 in a recent video, and now it's suddenly boosted up into the positive, which is quite rare for an AK. Oh, it's gone back down again. It was in the positive quite recently, but yeah. So I can see it working out quite alright. Still questionable, but as I said, all the remaining skins after the double armor door were a bit 50-50. So if you think it's going to be alright, keep an eye on it. We don't have to rush into buying it. We can wait until Wednesday, of course. But it's not abnormal. We won't be able to do an early buy order. We'll have to quite literally sit there and say, are we going to jump in and buy it, or are we going to do a buy order once the rust store is rotated and then it becomes marketable? That's the question. So we'll leave it at that. I could see it potentially doing pretty okay. Let's keep an eye on the sales. Okay, with the remaining skins, what else am I going to talk about now? I think I'll now talk about the likes of the Porcelain SMD. So this, of course, is a perfect homage with the recent brand new Frontiersman DLC pack that was just introduced. Awesome looking design, glows in the dark quite nicely. But let me just quickly point out with the likes of the Porcelain collection. It's been out for a good few years now. Many interesting skins were produced, such as weapons, clothing and armour. But with the deplorables, it's a bit all over the place. So as I show you over to here, I believe in the summer of 2022, we had a furnace. In the summer of 2023, we had these two deplorables. And whilst these were made and accepted, there was also the likes of a sheet metal double door and a rug skin that were produced, but they weren't accepted, and it kind of lost all of its momentum. But now, during the likes of the autumn fall season in 2024, we got this perfectly fine, cool-looking sheet metal door. These haven't really changed that much. Quite unfortunate. And I can't help but assume that this is still going to go below its rust store price. Look at every single sheet metal door that came out in 2024. I do believe only one skin's in the positive. Yeah, the Ultramarine skin. Down 19, down 60, down 58, down 60, down 55, down 47, down 60, down 60. Point made. There's far too many sheet metal doors that exist. It's hard for them to keep interest. There will be new, shiny, interesting sheet metal doors that get accepted. Now also, you might notice we've had 30 sheet metal doors accepted so far this year. We've matched up to the record that was made last year. 30 in total. We still have another like 10 rust doors to go. There will be more sheet metal doors produced. There will be more accepted. Halloween, Christmas, without a doubt, I'm sure we'll be seeing some more sheet metal doors. And Twitch drops, don't forget about that. So, okay, bit concerning. It's a cool looking door, but I do believe the skin creators are curious and interested to want to make some more porcelain deplorables again. So we've got to keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend. If we don't see anything, right, maybe we can take a step back. This is abnormal. We can be patient, and we must utilise that time. But I do lean more towards the likelihood that it's just going to go down in price, along with all the other interesting collection continuation sheet metal doors that we had earlier this year. All right, so that's what I lean towards. Now, you might be surprised that I've left it until now, but Black Diamond hoodie and pants, I want to talk about those next. So why have I left it this late? Well, there is a big concern about the amount that are being sold. More specifically, in comparison to the likes of the Tier 3 and the Tier 2 armour. There is no more core piece after this. And with the likes of boots and gloves, well, we've got gloves, we never got boots, but even then, I don't think boots coming out after this is going to really help this out. And it's selling accessibly, which I've already mentioned, but the average amount sold between the Tier 2 and the Tier 3 was between 18 to 20,000. These have basically already matched up to halfway. Yes. And it's still not 24 hours of sales. I worry for these. It might end up like the Abyss collection. So the Abyss collection is the perfect example to showcase what happens when one core piece sells a little bit too much compared to the other core pieces. Let's look at the Tier 3 once more. On average, it did around 27,000 subscribers. Then we look at the Tier 2 and the hoodie and pants. On average, these sold between 14 to 16,000 subscribers. There's about an extra 10,000 of these compared to these. And as you can clearly see, these are down real bad. And these, whilst some of them down a fair bit, it's not as bad compared to this. Just a few months back, all of these skins were in the positive. These never even improved. Far too many of them, far too many of them listed on the Steam market and on third-party sites because there's an excess amount. If this had very strong demand and people wanted full sets, by the time all of these have run out, there's still 10,000 of these remaining. So you get the idea. Excess stock leads to problems. And if that potentially happens to the likes of this, well, I wouldn't be surprised if the same type of behaviour happens. It struggles, it suffers, it goes down in price. So, we need to keep an eye on it. Both of these skins are abnormal, which is a blessing, but even then, if it goes too far, it might just be doomed, and it'll be very easy to notice. So keep an eye on this over the course of the next few days. If it surpasses 20,000 and goes beyond, let's say if it reaches up to about 25,000, I would be concerned. If it only reaches up to about, I don't know, 22,000, okay, that's not too bad. It shouldn't be too bad. In the grand scheme of things, it should be quite alright. But just remember this, we did quite recently just have the likes of Commando hoodie and pants, and they sold reasonably, and maybe people just prefer to use those. They're cheaper. There's actually not that many of these in circulation, especially on the Steam market. But then again, you can also look at the likes of Legacy Kevlar, that's even cheaper. Yeah, I get the feeling a lot of people are very happy with the likes of Black Diamond at the moment because it's getting more and more pieces accepted, but as time goes on, will it always retain the interest, or will other things appear? And Commando Collection, for example, is still expecting the likes of Tier 2 and boots and gloves for that, so we'll see what happens. But I worry for it. I think it's just selling a little bit too much, so be cautious. Let's wait it out. Let's see let's see what happens by Wednesday. And I will be streaming on Wednesday. Again, look in the description of this video. You'll see the likes of all of my socials there, more specifically my Twitch. Wednesday night, around 9 PM UK time, we'll look at all the skins here and we'll figure out how we're going to approach them, what prices we're going to offer, and what's actually looking appealing as a nice investment. Cool. Right then, so Black Diamond, clothing, bit awkward. We'll see how it turns out. Looking at the remaining skins, what's looking to be quite appealing. I think I want to talk about the Twisted Metal Furnace. So yes, this is a collection continuation to the likes of the garage door that we received last week. Very nice, very cool. He's smiling, he's so happy. Will there be more of these? I gave this a good looking game. Again, consider watching my Rust rotation video. It looks nice, it looks appealing. I'm not sure if it's always going to work out well. We've had a lot of weird face furnaces in the past. Not all of them have worked out well. So do be aware of that at the very least. I don't know if it's going to be 100% alright. My confidence isn't there, and furnace skins in general, well, just take a look at all of these and you might notice a bit of a problem. Look at all the furnaces that came out this year, look at all the furnaces that came out last year. The vast majority of them are in the negative. The vast majority of them are in the negative. There's quite a lot of them. It's an interesting looking design. Is it enough for everyone? Will there be more Twisted Metal skins? I get the feeling we'll probably start seeing some double door skins soon. Maybe a large box? Yeah, maybe. Keep an eye on the workshop. Let's see what Johnny Old Boy produces next. But I do lean more towards I don't have that much confidence in it. And I'm very sorry to say, but it's the furnace. It's not the skin. Okay. Right, next up, what do I want to talk about now? I think I'll talk about the Oasis garage door now. By default, garage doors, how many have we received so far this year? I do believe we've now got a record amount. Yep, 27. No, we've matched up to last year. I know it says 28 here, but that one didn't count. So we've matched up to last year's record-breaking 27 acceptances. And next week, don't forget, we're getting a Twitch drop garage door. So we technically have 28 now. Oh dear. Now please look at all the garage doors that came out this year. Down 7, down 48, down 26, down 56, down 13, down 56, down 58. Point made. They're all down in price mostly. Some of them are still stand out, which is nice to see. But yeah, Oasis garage door. You are a very nice, interesting looking design produced by the likes of Mr. Papacal and Universe Kid. And this is intended to be a collection. Previously, there was a sheet metal door that was produced. Yep. Maybe we'll see the likes of some large boxes, small boxes, furnaces, you name it, other doors. I fully expect that. But how likely is that actually going to retain value? I have doubts. There will be more garage doors produced. There will be more garage doors accepted. Halloween's just around the corner. Christmas is just around the corner. Twitch drops are just around the corner and given away for free. I don't think that will retain interest. I do believe it will be going below its rust price. But remember, if you like the design, treat yourself, buy it, support those skin creators, keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. It could develop into a proper collection. Let's see if Face Punch wants to accept more. But yeah, I definitely lean more towards the likelihood that it's going to go down in price. Okay, point made. Now I'll talk about the likes of Barbed Wire Poncho. Oh, cool. Yeah, another transparent design. Unfortunately, it didn't come with the boonie hat, which is something I thought would definitely pair up ever so nicely with it. I've looked at this in game. It's fine. You might remember the likes of the gold chains poncho, the lay poncho. Transparency on the likes of ponchos are very nice, creative, and interesting looking. However, have you actually looked at those ponchos and seen how they currently are holding up right now? Oh, look, it's down to $1. Oh, look, it's down to $2. That's down by 34%. That's down by 57%. I don't think transparency is definitely an instant success. It's interesting. It's fun, but I can't help but assume you'd just be able to pick it up with a barter maybe in a week or two's time. By all means, if you like it, buy it for yourself. But if you're looking at that as an investment, just take a look at all the ponchos that came out over the past few years. You notice how only just a few are doing all right, and the vast majority are down bad. Yeah, you've been warned, alright? Let's hope we do see some more primitive continuations. A bandana, another attempt at the boonie hat. We'll see. It would be nice, but will they be accepted? Yeah, that's the big question. And now we can talk about the Shining Edge AK-47. I gave this a good look. It's a perfectly fine looking AK. Consider watching my rust or rotation video. Now to talk about its, potential. No, sorry. $3 AK. Just take a look at all the other $3 AKs that came out in 2024. There's a lot of them. Oh, yes, indeed. And they're all basically down to $1. Yep. So, quite recently, we had the likes of the Steampunk AK-47. Sold at $3, now it's 84 cents. We had the Bird of Luck AK-47. Sold at $3, now it's 88 cents. Oh. We had the likes of the Real Safari AK-47. $3.49, 84 cents. Cell AR, $3.49, 86 cents. I've made my point. I'm so sorry, but I don't think it's retaining its value, and I think it's going down to $1. Yeah, it's got an interesting design, but it's not super in-your-face, flashy, unique. Sorry to say. So, it's going to be a 60 cent to 80 cent buy order. Very straightforward response. Very sorry if that's upsetting, but I see this happen every single time. There will be another AK accepted next week or the week after that. There will be special holiday AKs. There will be more Twitch drop AKs. It's hard for them to retain interest. There's a lot of these that exist. So, alright, cool. Right then, so we went through all of those skins reasonably well. Is there anything else that needs to be addressed? Well, keep an eye on the commits from here and now, because of course, the big update that just came out today is now finished. What's next? Well, I can't help but assume Face Punch is probably steering towards trying to get the likes of the next biome finished. At the beginning of this year, alright, they set out like a roadmap in one of their early blog posts for January, and they do say that they intend to get a brand new biome finished by the end of the year, or at least announced, probably showcased. We'll see. With a lot of interesting commits being posted over the course of this year, there's a lot of alludings to the likes of a jungle biome. We have Jungle Ruins Monument being worked on so yeah, kind of clear. Also, you might just notice snakes have been mentioned again. Where do snakes live? Rainforest? Well, they can live anywhere really, but you'd probably think more like jungles and rainforests and whatnot. Anyway, tigers, panthers, crocodiles, yeah, blowpipes, yep. So I can't help but assume they're going to be working towards like that. So if you want to stay informed, keep an eye on the commits quite regularly, just see what's being worked on. Siege weapons are being mentioned a lot as well. Catapults, drawbridges, things are getting medieval. And I should also bring up Twitch drops. Yes, next week it's going to be the Charitable Rust Twitch drops. They are helping out the likes of Direct Relief. We have 4 charity skins, and we have 8 Twitch drops. So these are the skins you can get for free. These are the skins that will be appearing in the Rust store next week. They will be selling between $5 to $10. They are not tradable. They are not marketable. But once they're gone, they're gone. So you have to consider if you want to help out. All proceeds do go towards the likes of helping out the likes of the charity, which I said is Direct Relief. So every little helps, I guess you could say. And in regards to the all of the skins here, you're probably wondering, oh, if I could get a much better look at the likes of all of those skins. Well, if you look over to here, Hedge produced the October 2024 Charitable Rust Twitch Drop Skin Showcase. It's right there in front of you. And if you want to get a much better look at all of those skins, consider watching the video. All good? Right then, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Best of luck to you and your investments. Let's see how things turn out. And don't forget, you also might want to consider keeping an eye out for the likes of all the Halloween skin submissions. Halloween Rust stores are just around the corner. As you can see, we have the Halloween 2024 contest entries collection produced by TGG right here. And there's a lot of skins that have been produced, and there's expected to be even more. I would believe they'll probably be up to about 120. So keep your eyes open. I do believe the deadline is in just a few days' time. So yeah, cool. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.